What is up, 418 fam? I am so excited that you are here with us. This is the last Crazy Stupid Smart of the year 2023. We're going to get into some stuff, but listen, if you don't know what this is the show Crazy Stupid Smart. We look at things going on in culture and find out if they are crazy, stupid, or smart. Because you want to make sure that you understand how to navigate what's going on in culture. You want to make sure that you can see through the lies, but also understand, look, is this crazy? Is this stupid? Is this smart? What should I be doing with this? So we're going to jump into a couple of things. But first of all, I just want to remind y'all that we have merch. I don't know if you guys know this, but on the 418 Revolution app, we have merch. And that means that you have things that you can buy to represent the 418 fam, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a community, a culture, and a culture that impacts culture. So go on to the app, look for our 418 merch, go ahead and make sure that you buy something, and just so that you can support what's going on here and so that you can represent who God has called you to be out there in the world. That's what we want you to do, is representing Christ out there in the world, changing culture, because that's what you were made to do. Now, before we jump into our main topics, which are number one, what happened with Brazil mocking God and then a flood happening the day after? Did God get his? Did God say, listen, you're not going to mock me. I'm going to show you what's up. Is that what happened? And number two, we're going to be talking about, is Christmas pagan? Because this is a Christmas season, y'all. We need to know, is this a pagan thing we're doing? And when people bring it up, what do we need to say to them? So let's jump into this. We're going to find, is it crazy, stupid, or smart? All right, before we jump into our main topics, I want to look at something that I came across off of Instagram. We always like to do something that's kind of funny here. And this video cracks me up, y'all. Check this out. You see that? First of all, it's the yell. It's like what? It's the yell. But after that, it is the wig for me. Oh my goodness, that wig. She was gone. That wig said, I'm not going with you. You can't take me down with you. You ain't left. Oh, that's crazy. Now, when you say that something's crazy, it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just crazy. It's funny. It can be all kinds of things when you say that's crazy. But y'all, I was cracking up when that wig, it curled up on the thing, said, nope. So anyway, I just want to share that with y'all, share that with a friend. But let's jump into our topic. Did Brazil mock God? So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to show one video that is representative of what they are talking about with Jesus being mocked. And I want to warn you, it's a little disturbing. Nothing graphic, but it's just kind of disturbing. And then I want to show you just some things that people were saying online about it. So here we go. Let's check out one of these. So this says Carnival Brazil 2023. And you see these demons walking by. And then this is where it gets like, what is happening? You got this devil dragging Jesus. And I mean, it's kind of... And you would like to think, oh, they're representing the crucifixion, but what you see is that actually, look at this. It's just glorifying the demonic, really. This is a giant float, and it's just glorifying the demonic. Look at that. This isn't a depiction of the crucifixion. So I mean, it's pretty bad. So then you have all these different posts, right? Flood in Brazil after mocking Jesus 2023. Brazilian Carnival 2023 mocking Jesus, fire disaster, heavy flood kills dozens in Brazil a day after mocking Jesus. Brazil's Carnival mocked Jesus, and look what happened. Brazil gets flooded after they mock God. So what's up with that? Like, what do we do with that, right? Because you got two different responses. You got people that are saying, one, you shouldn't mock God, right? He's still God. And look what he did. He brought this giant flood in, and because you mocked him. And then other people are like, well, God doesn't work like that anymore. And I mean, it's a good question to ask ourselves, like, does God do that? One of the verses I think about is in Psalm 2:11. It says, serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. And there is an interesting thing about fearing God that people, I don't want to say they water it down, but they kind of do, right? So to fear God, they'll say it doesn't mean to be afraid of him. It means to be in awe and reverence, which is true. But it also means to fear. Why are we fearing God? Why is God scary? He's not scary, but he's still God. He still could in a moment end it all. He is the creator. He is the one who gives us breath and can take our breath. He is God. So there is a level of fear that we should have. And the way I explain it is like when you have a good dad, and I would hope my kids think this about me. My dad is great. My dad is awesome. He's fun. I enjoy being around him. But there's this little thing, this little edge of fear that you don't really want to make dad mad, right? You don't want to get on that side of dad because dad is good and he's gracious, but when the time comes, he will do what's necessary to make sure that we stay in line. And I don't want to do that. There's a slight bit of fear, right? But it's a healthy fear. It makes you think differently. It makes you be aware of what's around you. It makes you be aware of your actions and your thoughts. And it causes you to honor God in a greater way. And so in Psalm 2:11, it says, serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. And then it says, kiss the Son, lest he be angry and you perish in the way when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are those who put their trust in him. So I really do think that there was a level of possibility that people could mock God and God say, listen, no. But then you have to ask yourself, what's the point? Why does God do it? Because God is love, so everything he does is out of love. So when God would allow something like a disaster to happen, why? It will always be a point, like even God's punishment is a point that brings you back to his love. Because what he's saying is, listen, you need to understand who I actually am, and you cannot mock me. And that brings us into a place of going, oh, God is really God. Now, the other thing is people say God wouldn't do that. So I would say biblically, there's no grounds to say he wouldn't. But the question is, did that happen here? All right. Here's the big problem. The big problem is that I don't know how this started going around like this, but I started doing some research into this, and that video, that thing actually happened in 2019, not 2023. So why it's going around now, I don't know, but it happened in 2019, not 2023, and the flood happened in 2023. So did God wait until 2023 to send the flood for something they did in 2019? But what I'm saying is, information is going around that is not accurate. Why does that matter? Because you can't say God is doing something as a result of something else when it's not connected to that thing, right? And so what's happening is you're making God look bad. You're making us look bad as Christians because you're going, look, God did this, and they're not even connected. You're saying God did this because of this same year. Guys, we got to get our facts straight. We can't just throw things out there and be like, this is what's going on. This just happened recently with the Pope of the Catholic Church. People were all up in arms, like the Pope just walked back his stance on same-sex marriage. Said it was okay, that they could bless it. And when you go and look at it all, I went and I follow a guy called Ruslan Very solid guy to follow on YouTube. But he was looking through it and what the actual document said. And although some people may disagree with some of the statements in there, it was very clear that it was not endorsing same-sex marriage. But that's what everybody put out there. We have to be careful that we don't just take what we hear and run with it. We have to be people that are willing to give grace first, to do our due diligence, to research, to understand. And listen, this even goes down to you and your relationship with your friends, y'all. You heard something about your friend said something, your friend did something. We're not just going to jump to conclusions. No, we're going to investigate. Ask, what was the context for what they said this thing about me? For what they did? What was going on? What was happening? All right? Ask them. Hey, did you say this? Because somebody told me you said this. Ask them in a gracious way. Listen, this goes a whole life. We have to be able to get our facts straight because we can't be just peddling fear and confusion and, oh no, look what they're doing now. Look what they're doing now. Okay, let's make sure that we're fighting the right battles. Fighting the right battles in culture, fighting the right battles in politics, fighting the right battles in religion and in spirituality, fighting the right battles within our own personal relationships. We have to fight the right battles. So based off of this, I'm actually going to have to give that a stupid, y'all. Look, we can't. We got to be better than this. We got to be better than this. All right, next up, we're going to be talking about, is Christmas a pagan holiday? I want you to make sure that you go get the premium subscription to the 418 Revolution app because that is the only way that you're going to be able to see this content. And so basically we want to make sure that we're able to give you the best content, that we're continue to put out great things that are going to help you build culture, go into culture and make a difference. And so we have a premium subscription. You can get access to all of our shows. You can get access to all of our extra content, our community, all those good things. We want you to make sure that you have that.